Hey guys, and welcome to my advanced Emma guide. In this video, we will be talking about one of the most underrated healers in NIKKE, and that of course is Emma. She has been getting some more attention recently, so I will be explaining to you why she is so good right now. I will be going over her skills, talk about when you should use Emma, show you some of her best teams and character synergies, teach you how to counter Emma in PvP, and basically everything you need to know about this character. As always, if you find this video useful, definitely make sure to leave a like and subscribe as it helps push out my content to more people. And with that being said, let me not waste any more of your time and let's jump right in. To start things off, Emma is a burst 1 support that is built around providing as much healing to your team as possible. She has a burst that will restore the HP for all of your allies based on her max HP, as well as more healing that scales off Emma's attack for 5 seconds. This ability does have a 40-second cooldown, so Emma's burst will not be the main source of healing for most cases. Her skill 2 has a passive effect that permanently increases your whole team's HP recovery as long as Emma's HP is above 90%. This can be really good, especially if you have a secondary healer, because this will also increase their healing effects. Moving on to her skill 1, and the main reason why Emma is such a strong healer. Her skill 1, Cheerleading, is a passive skill that has a 5% chance of activating whenever she is attacked. This ability will heal your team for a pretty decent amount based on Emma's max HP. Her skill 1 heals for 10.77% of max HP at level 10, which might not seem that much, but in the right teams and in the right scenarios, this can actually be very strong. Now that you have an idea on how her skills work, we will now be going over when you should use Emma and how good she is in different types of content. Right off the bat, Emma will shine the best in PvP, just because that's when she can really take advantage of her skill 1. I will be elaborating more on this in the team section, but basically, the enemy attacks are more predictable in PvP, so you can form your team in a way that will let Emma utilize her skill 1 more effectively. She does start to fall off in other types of content, just because she has a 40-second cooldown on her burst, and there are also better options for your burst 1 unit that will provide your team with more utility. With that said, if you want to use Emma outside of PvP, I would say that you can easily make her work in the Tribe Tower, Lost Sector, and even in some of the harder versions of the EX stages. Moving on to her team compositions, I will mainly be going over her PvP teams because that's where I think Emma should be mainly used in. I will be showing you how to build a team around Emma for PvP, as well as some tips on how to counter an Emma team if you go up against someone using it. For Emma's PvP teams, your team composition should optimally consist of Emma, a secondary healer, at least 1 defensive support, and the rest can be all attackers. If you have Jackal in your team, you have to make sure that Emma is one of your 2 characters with the highest attack, so that she will be affected by Jackal's skill 2, because that will further increase her chances of triggering her heal from her skill 1. You can switch around your gear or maybe even removing the headpiece for some of your units with the highest attack, so that Emma will be affected by Jackal's skill 2. You also have to make sure that Emma is in the first slot of your team, because the enemy will always target the character in that slot. And for the second slot, you should put in Jackal or the other character that is also affected by Jackal's skill 2, because if you are against a team with rocket launcher units, they will be dealing splash damage hitting both Emma and your second character, which means 2 consecutive chances of triggering Emma's skill 1. But if you don't have Jackal, you don't have to worry about the other character slots. One more thing to keep in mind is that you should avoid using characters that have a taunt effect. Any taunting skills will disrupt the team's main purpose, which is to focus the enemy's attack on Emma. For my testing, I mainly use the team that consists of Emma, Rapunzel, Privity, Senti, and Jackal. This team leans more towards survivability, and the goal is to chip down the enemy's HP while keeping Emma alive. I have been very successful using this team, considering how little investment was made. I will probably have the important character details up on the screen, but the main thing I want to mention is that my Emma has no limit break and is only using level 1 skills. But I was still able to beat players who have around the 10,000 combat power advantage. So if you have more investment in your team, you can definitely see better results. Emma is currently very strong and sometimes it feels like she is unkillable, but I do have a few tips on how to counter an immortal Emma team whenever you go up against them in PvP. Just like any other character, Emma does have her own weaknesses. And by far the biggest weakness of Emma are charge attack teams. This completely counters the concept of what makes Emma so strong, because Emma depends on being able to take a lot of small hits to have a higher chance of activating her skill 1. So if Emma is getting hit by multiple charge attacks, the damage she will receive will eventually overpower her healing, because she is receiving less hits but is also receiving more damage per hit. The best charge attack units to counter Emma are Admi, Alice, Haran, and Laplas. On top of the charge attack units, you might also have to use Privity. Depending on how strong your enemy is, Privity's stun will actually last long enough for your team to take out their Emma. There are cases where you won't be able to take out their Emma during the first few rotations, but Privity will eventually have a proper timing on her stun when Emma has low HP. So because of that, I would say that Privity is a really good pick if you want to counter Emma. And last but not the least, you can also counter Emma using Anne Miracle Fairy. I saved this one for last because she is a limited character and players can't get her anymore. But if you do have her, she's a great pick because she can decrease the enemy's healing effects. And moving on, I want to quickly go over the question, is it worth limit breaking Emma? Because some of you might be wondering, since she is so strong right now. But I would have to say that it's not worth it. Yes, she will be insanely strong in PvP if you get more copies of her, but if you are free to play or a low spender, I don't really recommend investing on units that are very niche or only good in PvP. You are better off getting copies of the more versatile units like Litter, Senti, Dala, or any of the top tier units that you can use in a variety of content. But if you really like Emma as a character, who am I to stop you? It's always waifu over meta. With that being said, that's about everything I wanted to talk about in this video. Hopefully this was able to help you form a team that will help you push in PvP and also help you counter the most broken composition. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave it down in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.